From director David O. Russell comes a very, very star-studded movie, Amsterdam. It literally has one of the best cast ensembles ever in terms of popular big names. So, of course, I was not going to miss to review this one, and here is my review for Amsterdam. Before we begin, let me remind you to please hit the subscribe button because a lot of other early reviews are coming up, including Halloween Ends and Black Adam. So stay tuned for that. Now let us begin with the review, starting off from this amazing cast. I mean, just look at the names, dude. I don't think I've seen a cast this big, at least not in recent memory. It's just huge. It's even bigger than Don't Look Up, which was released last year. So, starting off from who was my favorite, it was Margot Robbie as Valerie Vose. She was definitely, easily my favorite. In fact, out of the three leads, I think Margot Robbie did the best. I know a lot of Christian Bale fans were like, what? Not Christian Bale? I mean, yeah, the dude is a legend. Christian Bale is like one of my top 3 favorite actors of all time, and I think he just isn't really fit for this film. I thought Christian Bale was miscast here. I mean, certainly he delivers some of the laughs most of the times, but still, I thought he was miscast, and his performance was not really amazing towards compared to the character that he was playing. I just thought he was a bit off point. He was my least favorite in terms of the cast. I mean, you also had John David Washington. I mean, I didn't have really any problem with John David Washington as well, but that character was just not interesting. But John David Washington played it quite nicely, and that made the character at least a little bit interesting. Even though the way it was character was written, I really didn't like Harold Woodsman. But there are a lot of other names outside in the supporting roles, right? Chris Rock was amazing here. I mean, out of all the supporting actors, I thought Chris Rock and Rami Malek were the best. And even Anya Taylor-Joy was awesome for whatever part she was given here. There were some disappointments too. I mean, I expected more from Taylor Swift and Timothy Olyphant, but, well, yeah, those characters were not really interesting. I mean, this has just so many characters in this movie that it's tough to give all those characters equal amounts of screen time. Some of the characters shined while some didn't, because it's a 2 hour and 14-minute movie. You can't fill it all in with all the character developments. David O. Russell has directed some really great movies in the past years, and he has a unique directing style. But his style is not fit for this film, and I'm disappointed to say that. When it was announced that David O. Russell is going to direct a movie called, under the working title, Canterbury Glass, starring all these people in it, and I was like super excited. In fact, this was one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I would say that I was disappointed, not only from David O. Russell, but the whole plot execution and the way his style blends in with the plot. I thought it was a bit messy over there. I think they could have found another director who could have done a way better work. 3 friends, a doctor, a nurse, and a lawyer, become the prime suspects in a murder in the 1930s. And they discover some of the most shocking plot twists in American history. I mean, that is such an interesting plot. And even though I would criticize the plot execution, I think the plot here was just incredible, and it had way more potential than what was given to us. I mean, you just don't know how this movie has its shocks and twists, and I think a lot of the general audience will still enjoy it, because if you don't care about the directing and writing aspects, I think this movie is for you. It's entertaining. It is a bit too talky, but still it is entertaining when we have these big stars on screen. I guess this movie is not going to get all the awards it's expecting it will. Yeah, let's predict the Oscar chances. The best Oscar chances for this movie I could predict would be for Best Hair and Makeup at best. I don't think it's going to get anything other than that. No acting nomination, sorry. It's just way too competitive. Christian Bale can't get in there because the performance was not that great. So only hair and makeup is my expectation from this film. Amsterdam is a juggernaut of a disappointment. I mean, I still love the plot and the plot twists, but the plot execution is messy, and Christian Bale is miscast here. Margot Robbie does her best, and a lot of other supporting characters are also really good. But this movie just can't handle fitting it all in 2 hours and 14 minutes, and it turns out to be a disappointment. I would like to give this a 4.7 out of 10. Still, pretty enjoyable, I would say. At least for cinephiles, I don't think anyone is going to skip this one. But it's just not what you would have hoped for. So lower down your expectations if you are as excited as I was. So that was my review for Amsterdam. That's it for today. Like, share, and subscribe Film Villa, and thank you for watching.